This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for What in the World with.
Oh, that's me, Paul Seaburn. Hi,
That's his
Karen.
name. Hi, Paul.
I said, I wasn't sure if we were live or in rehearsal. So we
Yeah.
are live, right?
Well,
Okay.
we're always rehearsing.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am Paul Seaburn. This is What in the World, everybody's hopefully favorite weird news podcast. I'm here with Karen Hale, the media mogul and our producer at NewClevelandRadio.net, our platform for the podcast, and John DiNallo on the screen there. Hi, John.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
John is here as our color commentator and host of What in the World of Sports, and I know John has another weird sport for us today. But before we get to weird sports, we talk about weird news. And remember, our motto is real news, sometimes strange, always funny. Everything that we talk about on the show is from real news, not fake, not made up. And we try to make it maybe not upbeat, but not politics, not business.
Not beat up. Or not beat
Yeah.
But well, I don't know. I've been beat up before here. You don't read my mail, John.
Gotcha.
Anyways, yeah. So we try to stay away from all the serious subjects. We try to have fun. If you're not laughing at one story, please stick with us for another 30 seconds. We'll be on to another one.
Absolutely.
And yeah, our news comes from around the world.
That's a very good tagline, if I may offer. That's a good tagline.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's what I get paid to do. These big bucks, John.
Yeah. It's like the weather in Cleveland,
There
Just
you go. That's
Exactly.
So anyway, I want to get started here because we do have quite a lot of things to talk about today. If you're joining us on what's that thing called, YouTube, that's what the kids call it, YouTube. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Please do follow us, like us, do all that kind of stuff. If you're following us on Spreaker or Apple Podcast or all the other podcast platforms, Karen tells me we're everywhere. So
we are, and on Instagram.
Oh, that's right. We were just talking about that off the air. We are on Instagram, so we're very excited to be there. If you're joining us from there, thank you. Please come back because we're going to be talking about stuff from around the world, just like we are today. What do I have going on today? I've got killer mermaids from Jamaica. We talked about mermaids before, but none like these. The man-eating whale. I hope to be able to get to that story. The guy from Massachusetts. The story keeps changing. Beer commercials. This is for you, John. Beer commercials are getting implanted in your brain while you sleep. So be ready. I've got all the news on that. This is very big. Nobody else is talking about this.
I'm sure.
Oh, and John, also, I have some very clear Bigfoot photos for you. Bigfoot was spotted in Colorado.
They can be, Paul, I'm sure they're clear as can be, right?
All right, sorry, John. Let's see. The Bigfoot. A soccer star. Well, I do a little bit of sports. So we try to leave most of it for John, but a soccer star and his wife saw a UFO. We're going to talk about them. Tibetan monks training astronauts. We're going to talk about that, and all kind of other weird stuff. So, but if you're not watching us on YouTube, I want to point out, or on Instagram, that we do occasionally have some photographs that go along with our stories, and you can see all of those if you tune into us on either of those platforms. I'll try to describe them for you so that you don't feel left out. We wouldn't want that to happen.
No.
And I mentioned it specifically because of this first story coming up. This is, I'll take a second here and make sure I've got the right photo lined up here, and I don't think I do. Let's see here. If I go, I can't do that. Let's go back to there. This is embarrassing, I know. Let's.
I'm not embarrassed at all.
I should have had this set up before. Let's see. Oh, there's a scary photo right there. And we were just looking at this before the show. That's a picture of me as a freshman in college. So add that to your photo collection right there. I better get that off before anybody gets a screenshot of it. Okay, here's a better one. This is
Oh
DiNallo.
no.
The hot new fashion trend, Karen. This is for your husband, Rich. John, this
No.
is for you. The double mustache. That is a regular mustache, and then the bearded portion underneath, trimmed, um, shaped, and otherwise made to look exactly like the mustache under the nose, so that it
It is
becomes.
so ugly.
You think so? Wait,
Yes.
I got more. How about this guy?
Oh my God.
From
This
bad
guy
to
needs
worse.
some. He
From
needs
bad
some
to worse.
practice. Yeah, he obviously knows how to use a mirror, but not to trim in the proper shape.
Ugh.
I'm not sure where these guys are from, but from the story that I got, this is a hot new trend. Um, let's see if I can grab another one over here. Now this guy's pretty
Oh,
impressive. This is a handlebar mustache gone wild, and it looks like he may have even been sitting in a barber chair getting a trim right there. Um, Now this guy looks kind of
oh.
debonair, like that. Another handlebar. Handlebar on the chin just doesn't seem to go. I don't
No.
think.
Well,
You know, but by the way, I did a little bit of a survey of I know a couple of these guys, and they say that the chicks dig it, and it's a great way to find out if you have a runny nose or if you're a sleep drooler. The
I don't know.
How about this guy?
Oh,
This is here's a
whoa.
Snidely Whiplash with a double mustache is what this guy is. And this guy's very contemplative about whether the girls really like his mustache or double mustache. But my favorite is coming right up here. This is the look that I'm going for, Karen and John, right there. That's
Oh my
this
God.
guy moved his mustache from his chin to his chest, and
That
it
is
looks more
very-
like a bikini top.
Yes, it does.
That is very weird, Paul. Very weird. Oh my
So I'm
God.
going to do you a favor and take that down.
Thank you.
Yeah, please do. The sooner the better.
There you go. I knew you'd enjoy that. I thought that'd be a great way to start off the show with some double mustaches. Very popular story on my Facebook page. By the way, for everybody tuned in, many of the stories that I talk about, I test market on my Facebook page. So take a look me up on Facebook. Some of the weirder stories, particularly paranormal, come from mysteriousuniverse.org, where I'm the editor and the head writer. So you can see some more in-depth coverage of some of the things that I talk about at mysteriousuniverse.org. For example, this is one. There are many parts of the world where there shouldn't be giant lions and tigers and pumas and all these big cats. They're showing up. England is one. These cats are not native to England. So, and yet giant black panthers are showing up everywhere. So this happened in Wales, in North Wales. There's been, over the past 2 months, there's been like 6 different sightings of giant black panthers. And they're telling people to keep their pets inside, keep their livestock inside, keep their little kids, their smaller relatives, all of them inside, because nobody can explain them. But they do have pictures and videos, always, John, always far away,
Par for the course.
which is why I didn't put one up
Par
there.
for the course. Yeah.
But Wales, of all places. So I called my old friend. You know, I used to, when I was in the comedy business, I used to meet some celebrities. So the only Welsh celebrity I know is Tom Jones. So I called Tom Jones, everybody's favorite Welsh singer, and I asked him, tell me, is this what's going on with these big black cats in Wales? And Tom looks me in the eye over Zoom and he says, "It's not unusual."
Oh, of course he
Long
did.
way to go to pick on Tom Jones. I don't know him. However, I do know. Do you know what his real name is, John, by any chance?
I do not know that. I don't.
He is a sir. He is a knight. His real name is Sir Thomas John Woodward. And Karen, I know he thought at one point was a sexy guy. I don't know if you ever threw your hotel keys up to him at a concert.
No.
No.
Not
Tom
my
Jones
type.
is oh no?
No.
I'm surprised. Tom Jones is 81 years old, still singing. He has another album coming out this year. At 12, I didn't know this. At 12, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and spent 2 years in bed where all he could do was listen to music and read. So he was thrilled to be able to get out. He had been a singer like in the church choir before. So when he got out, that's what helped nurse him back to health. And his first hit was It's Not Unusual, 1965.
Wow.
That was when that song was released. Went to #1, got him a Grammy, got him, he was hired to write the theme song for What's New Pussycat, the movie, another big hit for him. And Thunderball, the theme from the James Bond movie, Thunderball, which ends, I had to listen to it because I forgot how it went. It ends with Tom Jones doing this huge, long, very loud note. And according to tradition, the legend of the Thunderball movie, he actually passed out while he was recording it because he completely ran out of breath in order to get that last second of Thunderball, whatever, however. I didn't even want to try doing a Welsh impression there. Yeah, he said he admits it. He woke up and the room was spinning. So, but now let's go to get ready for John is our Italian food expert here. So I've got a little Italian dish that you may have heard about on the news. Thousands of people around the world have signed an internet petition asking Jeff Bezos, the multi-billionaire owner, founder of Amazon, to buy the Mona Lisa and eat it.
Eat it.
And eat it. That's right. I'm going to apologize because I got to bring that guy up here again. There we go.
Oh,
there's Jeff Bezos, for those of you who don't remember what he looks like. And there's the lovely Mona Lisa, for those who don't remember what she looks like. Believe it or not, that's what they want him to do. This could start a new trend, by the way, of eating famous paintings, and especially those by the painter of the Mona Lisa, which would be a great television show called Diners, Drive-Ins, and Da Vinci's. Now, John, do you think you could, maybe with some tomato sauce and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, you think you could chow down on Mona Lisa over there?
Paul, no. In fact, I just think on
A
principle,
definitive answer there.
on principle alone, I don't think I would eat anyone's painting. I just find that gross, to be
why,
honest.
I know, I
why
agree.
would you want to?
Well,
Right,
they want him to spend his money on something besides a yacht or flying out into
God.
space. So this is what they came up with. By the way, the Mona Lisa is 30 by 21 inches. So that's almost a yard by 2 feet. That's quite a bit of painting. Paper is good for you. Paper's fiber. So, you're not going to get harmed by the backing of Mona, but the paint is probably lead-based. So I seriously doubt you want to eat that.
No.
A better choice, and one that would get you more fiber, would be a Velvet Elvis. But speaking of Italian food, and this one is for you, Karen, a restaurant pizza place in Dayton, Ohio, the Pizza Bandit, it's called, is testing out, get ready for this, and I'm going to put a picture of it for you, the spicy Thai cicada pie.
Oh, yuck.
There you go. That's a pizza. Now you're going to have to look at that carefully. It has,
Yeah, I can see them.
It has blanched and sauteed, locally foraged cicadas, direct from Dayton, and a crust adorned with cicada wings. If you look real closely, you can see tiny little cicada wings carefully placed all the way around the crust, which may be stuffed with cicada guts. I'm not sure. But the rest of it is. So the owner says he's not sure that the FDA would approve it. So he can't sell it yet, but he's testing it out on all of his employees. And they said the best way to eat one is to order it half cicada and half Imodium, which I think is the way I would eat it. Um,
Oh,
but John, I'm sure you've said this before. Put enough cheese on something, and and I'll eat anything.
That's
Uh,
true.
I
That,
certainly feel that way.
yeah. I don't
Or
know though.
tomato sauce, I would say.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
but
No one it's a cicada though.
you know, now, okay, so that's the objection I've been getting. And I was thinking about this, here we are, we've been eating outside for months now. Don't you think that something may have fallen from the sky while you were eating outside and you ate it and didn't know it? Perhaps even a cicada?
I mean, it's possible. Obviously, I mean, it's
So,
possible.
well, what's the difference then? This is just a few more, like you were under a cicada tree. Um,
Oh Lord,
don't think so, huh?
no.
not feeling it, Paul.
Okay, you're not buying that one. All right.
No.
So, believe it, that's a real pizza restaurant. That's a real pizza. We talked about this before. If you're allergic to seafood, you shouldn't eat cicadas because believe it or not, the insect and the shrimp and the lobster are part of the same family. I didn't know that. That baffles me. Okay, so this one. We go to Norway now, and this was archaeologists were digging at a well-known site of Viking graves, and they found the grave of a woman. It was very unusual, for one thing, to be in the Viking grave area, and she had embroidered cloth buried with her. Beautiful, beautiful embroidered cloth. So what they believe is that she was an embroiderer for the Vikings. Very, very unusual, very ornate stuff. They didn't realize that Vikings had things embroidered. And in fact, it was a pretty boring job for this poor lady because she was really good. But whenever the Vikings came in, they got one of two things. They either got a shirt embroidered with the name Thor or embroidered with the name Eric. That was it. What else do they want? but beautiful stuff that this lady, although very decayed after so many years. So I didn't want to gross you out like with the cicada pie.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay, so now this is one of my favorite stories of the week. This goes to Minnesota. A Minnesota man was charged with arson and damage to property after burning down a 20-foot tall statue of Frankenstein, which had stood on the corner of South Main and West Mill Street for 20 years. Now, if you've never seen a statue of who did I say it was? Oh,
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. I'm just having a tough time with these little buttons here. There we go. There's Frankenstein right there. So he's been standing there at that spot for 20 years, and this guy decided he was going to burn down Frankenstein. So everybody was upset, including Frankenstein's family. So they interviewed the son of Frankenstein, and he said, that his father should have known that smoke good, but fire no good. And John, I think you know what movie that's from.
of course. Well, it's from Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. So here's a picture of the original Frankenstein smoking in the movie, where the monk gave him a cigar, and he was at first frightened by it, and now he's smoking. And this is how it ended up when Mel Brooks did his version of it, and that's Frankenstein having a hard time getting his cigar lit, and his thumb ended up being lit.
That's a great scene, by the way.
It certainly is. It was one of the funniest movies of all time. And now I can't remember his name. That's the father from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle.
There you go. Thank you. Peter Boyle did a super job in that movie. So that was I was thinking, I showed that picture to the lovely Donna, and I said, I know I'll never be able to get a Bigfoot statue for the backyard, but how about a Frankenstein? And I think you know the answer to that.
An educated guess.
And I totally agree.
There you go. Okay, but speaking of Bigfoot statues, a number of drivers in Colorado, John, reported recently seeing a truck on Interstate 70, carrying a crate with a giant Bigfoot inside. So I've got a picture of the crate right there. So in case you didn't see the Bigfoot poking his face out
Warnings.
of the window, it's well marked with Sasquatch, warning Sasquatch, Sasquatch inside, look inside. The big wooden crate on the back of a trailer being pulled by a pickup truck. Okay, so it was in Colorado, and it was being taken. This Bigfoot was being taken to a place in Colorado, and I've got a picture of the Bigfoot right there. Now, I have a very clear picture of Bigfoot, John, and also a little baby Bigfoot right behind him. That was actually made in Unit 70 Studios in Columbus, Ohio, which is also very near I-70. So it's a straight shot west. And it's being installed at the Sasquatch Outpost, which is a museum in Bailey, Colorado.
Wow.
How about that? I don't know if that's life size.
That's the clearest picture of a Bigfoot that I've ever seen.
So that's how people knew it wasn't real, because it was so clear.
That's very good, Paul. Very good. Very good.
It was in focus.
Really?
So I know that didn't scare you, John and Karen. So I've got something that will. And this ties into our movie theme here. This is a viral TikTok video that was just posted this week. Shows them. Well, I'm just going to show you the video. Well, I'll show you a picture of him first. But oh no, how did he get in there? That's my soccer star. He's in the wrong place. Holy smoke! I've got all my pictures are screwed up here. Where'd he go? Looks like I guess I missed him.
Oh.
Let me. This is technical difficulties here. I can't imagine.
You should have come to rehearsal this morning.
I should have come to rehearsal. I don't know what happened here. I was having trouble with my PowerPoint. Let's see. Are we back?
We're here.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are. Okay.
We're here,
All
yeah.
right. So, I'm so disappointed. And I don't know how to get to the pictures to see what might be wrong here. Let me run through here real quick. I have a feeling. Oh, you know what? I can't see what I wanted to see because I'm in that share mode, Karen.
That's right. You want me to share you?
I'm
for a
afraid
second?
I don't want to screw things up here.
Okay.
The son of a gun, they disappeared. Well, okay, I'll just have to talk about it here. I have a feeling that I'm not in share mode. So let me try that again.
I will double check. Hold on. Yes, you are.
Oh, I am. Okay. Can you,
Yep.
I'm the, there we go. Can you see that? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now I need to get back to where I was. Okay, so what we were talking about here, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'll just take that down. So this came from the United States. There's a video, and I'll just have to describe it. A man showed a video of himself turning his head 180 degrees. So he was actually facing completely behind him, which if he could spit pea soup at the same time, he'd be eligible for another Exorcist sequel. But he wasn't harming himself in any way. And it's a scary thing to look at, very uncomfortable. I can barely go this far without having, and kids, don't try that at home.
Yes,
or maybe
please
old
don't.
people don't try that at home. But anyway, I wanted to mention The Exorcist, John. Do you remember when The Exorcist came out? I think we've asked this question before. John or Karen?
We were in college. I'm gonna say 1973.
Oh, very good, John. 1973. The novel came out in 1971, which everybody read first because it was just so scary and so popular. The stars of the movie: Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Lee J. Cobb, and Linda Blair, of course, the lovely Linda Blair, who spinning her head. Alan more. Now, the reason why I have that soccer star in there, I'm going to mention him. His name is Chris Smalling. He's a British soccer star. He now plays for an Italian team. He and his topless model wife, and that's the reason why the story got picked up by the news. Not because, and I don't want to lose our YouTube privileges, so I
Yes,
won't be
please
showing a
don't.
picture
Yep,
of her.
yep.
But I did have that picture there. So Chris Smalling and his wife saw a UFO, and they were so, and this is a quote, "We were so gobsmacked we couldn't take a picture of it." And then they pointed out that they were gobsmacked, but they were not high on mushrooms, which apparently he must have a reputation for playing games while high on mushrooms. So what I liked about the story was the word gobsmacked. John or Karen, any idea what gobsmacked might mean?
No.
Like-
What are those British colloquial terms that we so love?
Confused.
Confused? It's actually shocked is what it
Okay.
means. And it comes from two words, gob, which is an old British word for mouth, and smacked, which is an old British word for smacked. So it means you have a feeling that you were smacked in the mouth, and that's how they felt. Comes from it started in the 1930s. I don't know what was going on in the 1930s that they decided to be gobsmacked. But so
Never heard,
if
never heard that expression.
if you've been smacked in the mouth, you might have flaming lips. And our younger listeners know that the Flaming Lips is the name of a band. The lead singer of the band, Wayne Coyne, called up Jeff Bezos, because that's what rich people do. Oh no, Elon Musk. He called Elon Musk. And he said, "Hey, Elon, we would like to be the first band to play a live concert on the International Space Station. Can you give us a ride on your next flight?"
Right. Yeah.
Seriously. And Elon said no. But anyway, the Rolling Stones asked to do this first. But there's not enough handrails on the space station for the Rolling Stones to play up there. My personal choice for a band on the International Space Station would have been the Who, because I would have liked to see them busting up their instrument and then watching the pieces float all over the place in weightlessness. To me, that would be either that or Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of an alien, like the head off of a bat. That would be a concert that I would pay to see. How are we doing on time here? I know I had a technical difficulty over here. Okay, let's talk about John's commercial, the dreaming of beer. This is for you, John.
Okay.
Have you ever woken up from a dream with a new idea? This happens to me all the time. I get ideas in my dream, and if I learned a long time ago that to write them down. I have a pad of paper next to my bed. Have you ever woken up after dreaming about something like a waterfall and had to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every night.
I was going to say, okay, it's just me. So have you ever wondered if by any chance someone was implanting those thoughts in your head?
No.
No. Well, guess what, Karen? Guess what? It may be happening. It turns out before the last Super Bowl, Molson Coors, makers of Molson and Coors beer, contacted a psychologist who has been working on dream therapy. And they asked her to help consult with them, because what they wanted to do was they wanted to do something called targeted dream incubation. And they were going to run a commercial that would influence people to dream about beer. And in the dream, they would be told that if they told a friend about the dream and they called a certain number, they would each split a case of beer for free.
Wow.
So this is the honest to God truth. One of the spokesperson from Molson Coors verified it. So it turns out that somebody talked them out of it. So instead, they just did a small experiment with 18 people, and they ran a simple commercial, and 5 of them remembered dreaming about beer as a result of watching the commercial. But scientists around the world are just completely gobsmacked about this. They wrote an op-ed to this scientific newspaper complaining that the next thing you know, advertisers are going to be putting more stuff into our dream, which they probably are already. If I understand businesses the way I think I do, I have a feeling that we're already being marketed in our sleep. So anyway, that's just a warning, John. Don't
Okay.
if you wonder, when the beer commercials come on TV, close your eyes and cover your ears. Or at least the Coors one. Those are the worst ones.
Okay.
I don't, and I get songs stuck in my head all the time, which is terrible.
Oh, I do too. I do.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
And when you get, if you've ever dreamt about drinking beer, what generally happens next is that you get in your car and all of a sudden you start to do like Gary Wright did in his song. You become a dream weaver. The long way to go for that, for just to plant that earworm in everybody's head. And we got no laughs on that one, so we'll just move right along. We'll edit that one out later.
I got the joke, Paul. I got the joke.
All right, so I think we have enough time here to talk about the guy who got swallowed by the whale. I know Karen's been waiting for this. In fact, I think I have a picture of him. I'm going to bring that up while I talk about him. So this guy, there's Bigfoot again. And there's your soccer player. Now there's a humpback whale for you. So this guy in Massachusetts, he's a lobster diver, not a lobster fisherman, but a lobster diver. One of the few lobster divers left working in the United States, if not the world. He jumps off the side of his boat in a scuba gear, dives down into the water to the bottom, and brings live lobsters back up that he then sells to the market. So he's doing this one day, last week, and all of a sudden everything goes black, but he didn't pass out. He can still feel that there's something, he's surrounded by something. And he starts wiggling around and he feels wiggle back. And all of a sudden, he estimated like 40 seconds or so. All of a sudden, he feels that he's burst out of the water. It becomes light again, and the whale spit him out. Now, all of this was witnessed by someone on his boat, one of his crew members, who quickly went over and rescued him from this humpback whale. Now, John, this should remind you of the famous biblical story. Even atheists know this story about a certain prophet who had a certain encounter with a certain aquatic animal. Do you remember that story?
Sure, the story of Noah.
No.
Jonah.
No, Noah. No. Thanks for playing, John.
Sorry.
I win.
Karen.
Very good.
Obviously, an Old Testament expert over there. So Karen, back to you. What aquatic creature was Noah swallowed by?
By a whale.
Everybody says whale. That's right. It was actually a giant fish, according to the actual biblical passages in the book of Jonah. He was swallowed by a giant fish. Now, marine biologists say both of those are impossible. There's no fish big enough to swallow anybody whole. A shark would chew you up. And whales have the big enough mouth. That's a huge mouth on that humpback whale over there. But and in fact, I think I have a picture of the whale. Oh, there's the guy who got swallowed. he looks like he's
happy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's happy to be spit out by the whale. There's how big. So that whale is like about 4 times the length of an elephant. So that's a pretty big mouth. But they have a very tiny esophagus, and there's no way they could swallow a scuba diver, which they have an illustration of right above the whale's tail. So he was in there for 40 seconds. He says he's got a slight limp, but otherwise he's no worse for the wear. His wife has been begging him to give up the lobster diving trade. So So now he's famous, so he's got to keep on doing it because people are going to come and throw money at him to, hey, do that whale thing again. Um, and you know, she's not going to win unless she does something drastic, which just could possibly happen. That's what wives like to do when they want their husbands to retire. But believe it or not, there's been two actual cases of other people who were swallowed by whale. Jook Robbins, oh no, wait, Rainer Schimpf in South Africa in 2007. He was taking pictures off a boat after he jumped in the water, and he claimed that another whale, took him into his mouth and tried to swallow him, and he just held his breath until they spit him out. But my favorite one comes from the 19th century. James Bartley. He wrote in a letter that he was on a whaling crew in the Falkland Islands, and he reported being swallowed by a whale and disappeared. The whale disappeared. The crew couldn't find him. For 3 days, they looked all over the place. All of a sudden, they see the same whale. They catch the whale, they cut it open, and what was his name? James Bartley is still alive, but pale because the stomach acid took all the pigment out of his skin.
God.
Yeah. So, the only proof they have is the letter, which they all signed and swore. This really happened to James. Unfortunately, even biblical scholars kind of question whether Jonah was swallowed by anything. The story resembles the story of Gilgamesh, which is a completely different religion, and Jason and the Argonauts. I think there's a story about somebody getting eaten by a giant fish in those tales as well. So, anyways, stay away from lobster diving if you want.
I will.
Want to stay healthy. And speaking of staying healthy, that's my cue to turn things over to John DiNallo here. Now, with what in the world of sports? So every week I ask John to find a sport for us that we could possibly participate in, and also make it weird. So that's always a challenge. And yet every week he seems to come up with something very strange, always baffles Karen that it's an actual sport. And we've learned a long time ago that she won't be convinced unless there's an organizing body or a commissioner or some sort of championship. So John assures me that we have all of those things with our sport for this week. So John, why don't you take it away with our sport of the week on What in the World of Sports?
Sounds good, Paul. Thanks. So the sport this week is hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
I know that.
Karen, we got a team here already, John.
So believe it or not, a game that every child has played is now a world championship sport that may one day be worthy of a gold medal in the Olympics.
Whoa.
Cover your ears and count to 100 as we introduce the sport of hide and seek.
Okay, I'm ready.
Doing a good job, Paul. So
Okay.
hide and seek in Italian is nascondino. And
Nascondino, okay.
right. And Italy is where the first international hide and seek competition was held in 2010 in the city of Bergamo, Italy. According to Nascondino folklore, the idea for an international tournament came about by accident as one of the founders' birthday parties when he and his friends began a spontaneous game of hide and seek and wondered why there was not an official world event.
So there's a number of concerns here at this point, John. One is this was not a pub sport. This obviously in Italy, they come up with their sports at birthday parties rather than England, where they come up with their weird sports in a pub.
And a very good chance, Paul, and a very good chance that they were drinking wine, though, at the time.
Oh, and my second concern is that these are adults playing hide and seek.
Sure. But even though it started out as a joke, the event has grown significantly year after year.
We have a picture of the World Championship logo on
That's
the screen right now.
Yes. So the rules of the game are more of a codified version of the children's game. This is a team game. And again, each team consists of 5 players. Players must be at least 18 years of age. Males and females compete on the same team and against each other, and the playing field is an open air space with natural and artificial hiding places.
Natural and artificial hiding place here. And so
This is weird.
just for
Well,
a who can't find hiding place, make up their own hiding places. So they
that's
put
right. That's right.
bays of hay, bays of hay. I have a picture of the one of the court or whatever it's called here, the pitch, the hide and seek pitch, and there's bales of hay and giant blue cylinders, and even an outhouse where apparently
Yeah,
someone is hiding.
I'm not hiding in the outhouse.
A porta potty. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
a porta
But
potty.
thinking
Oh, go
of-
ahead, John.
So, anyways, so the competition is carried out in rounds. Each round is played by one player per team. Players are given 1 minute to hide from the neutral seeker and 5 minutes to run to home base, which is a large soft mattress that you can launch yourself towards. Uh,
So
now,
here's some people hiding behind hay bales.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. Now,
What
The-
fun! This looks like so much fun, John.
well, let me continue.
Okay.
The first player to reach home base is awarded 20 points. The second person is awarded 19 points, and so forth.
Wow.
If a player is found by a seeker, the player will not receive any points. Players who do not reach home base before the time is up within the 1 minute limit, and players who are found to be cheating will not receive any points as well.
There's cheating in hide and seek.
Well, at all costs, Paul, win at all costs.
How about drugs? Are there drugs?
I don't know anything about that. Can't speak at that point. But
Steroids.
no, performance enhancing drugs. Yes, I have no idea on that, Paul. But anyways, the points obtained by the individual team members in each heat are added together to determine the top 20 teams that will advance to the finals. There are referees positioned throughout the playing field to ensure that the games run smoothly.
Yeah, this is a picture of just one small portion of the field, and there's 3 referees standing there.
They're right in there, exactly.
But this
Yeah.
is the finish line. This is the pillow, Karen. I
Right.
think I have some
Oh,
pictures.
and
of
you have to fall on it.
Oh no, you leap onto it.
Oh, you leap onto it.
Oh yeah. Here, yeah, they take a running. Look at this guy
Good.
leaping onto the.
Wow.
Right there. So
You know,
anyway,
this is like the nose finish at the Kentucky Derby. Wins by a nose.
Wow.
now, so the winning team in each competition is awarded the golden fig leaf, which is biblically the symbol of hiding, referring directly to the story of Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I love that. The biblical. So to get some legitimacy into the sport and get it so they can play on Sundays.
Right. Now,
They award the gold fig leaf from the Bible. This makes
Yes.
after church we play hide and seek.
now the game's first and current individual champion is Jeffrey Wayne Gauvin from the United States. But the
Wow.
competition's most decorated athlete is Ireland's Sinead Cormacan. She trains out of the South Dublin Hiding Academy and holds 4 national hide and seek championships, as well as 3 European intervarsity hiding medals.
So there you go, Karen. That's how serious the Irish are.
That
They
sounds
have an
serious.
academy
Wow.
devoted to hide and seek and their own European intervarsity hiding medals. This is big time.
It is.
We need to start doing this in Cleveland.
Yeah, no. The
No.
first the first 6 editions took place in the Bergamo region of Italy, as we said. The 6th edition took place in the abandoned ghost town of Consono, known as the Land of Toys or the Italian Las Vegas, located in the district of Lecco, Lombardy. The location was chosen as the perfect habitat for a hide and seek championship and to bring back to life an abandoned place through play.
That doesn't make that sounds like an oxymoron. An abandoned ghost town is called the Italian Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they
Not sure how that works.
too. I'm not sure either, Paul, but that's what I understand. Now, the 7th edition in 2016 attracted 64 teams, including teams from Italy, France, Switzerland, Belgium, and the United States, with 320 players in total taking part. The team from Marseille, France, won the championship that year.
64 teams. That's unbelievable.
I think that might be the Frenchman right there, as a matter of fact.
I think so, yeah.
Waving the French
Good
flag.
looking people.
Yes. Now, in 2017, 80 teams came from 5 continents and 11 countries: Italy, France, Portugal, Belgium, Switzerland, Hungary, Slovenia, Australia, Japan, the United States, and Africa. First place was won by an Italian team. Good
Oh,
to-
the home team. All right.
Yes, all right, there it is. Now, Japan has its own version of a hide and seek championship established in 2013 that incorporates aspects of tag, and there was a campaign to include in the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Unfortunately, it got bumped out by surfing, skateboarding, and sport climbing.
We need to file a protest. I would much
Well-
rather see hide and seek in the Olympics than
Here's the
skate.
final thought, folks. Here's the final thought. Maybe the Winter Olympics could be interested in hide and seek on ice.
Hide and seek on ice.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. Downhill hide and seek.
It could take off, so to speak.
It could take
Uh-huh,
off. That's
good.
right. Put it on the ski jump. Whoa, John, very good. Professional hide and seek, world champion hide and seek, Karen. You can't get any better than that. I don't know why you don't want to try this in Cleveland. I think we could be, newclevelandradio.net could be the home of the U.S. Hide and Seek Academy.
I don't think so. No,
You're passing on that completely. Not,
I am.
not even up for discussion. I can't believe that. Not
No.
even up for discussion.
No discussion.
Wow.
Yeah. See,
Well,
I'd rather be part of that C on John's shirt.
John,
Ah,
that's right. John is wearing his Cleveland Indian shirt. That's right. And Karen
Wow.
also has a very close tie to the
Yes.
Cleveland Indian.
Yeah.
I do not, so I'm wearing nothing on my shirt. I knew I'd get you with that one.
Yep.
Okay, so I know Karen objects to all these sports because she wants newclevelandradio.net to be the home of Bluff the Co-host, which it has been
Absolutely.
for, 4 years now, the #1 game show in the world, Bluff the Co-host, where every week I have 3 stories that are very similar to the ones we talk about during the show, with the added switch that, while some may be true, some may not be true. And it's up to John and Karen and those of you playing at home to determine which ones are real and which ones are a bluff. That's why it's called Bluff the Co-host.
that's right.
I suppose we could call it Bluff the Co-host and listeners. Maybe we will someday.
Okay.
So anyways, let's get right to it. Place all your bets. Karen and John, hands on the buzzer. Here comes story number 1. Here's an inspiring story for all of you who can't seem to throw away anything. A woman in Boston bought a ticket to the city aquarium in 1983, but got there just as it was closing. So they gave her a rain check for admission, quote, at any time in the future, unquote. Well, she found it in the drawer where she had placed it in 1983 and gave it to her grandniece last week, who took it to the aquarium, and the management actually honored the ticket, even though they quit giving out rain checks 25 years ago. The great aunt didn't want to go, so the grandniece was nice enough to buy her a souvenir t-shirt, which Auntie put in her drawer because she might need it someday. So the aquarium that recognized and honored a rain check from 25 years ago that Auntie put in her drawer. Real or bluff, Karen? What do you think?
God, it sounds too real. But you've been tricking us lately.
Wow.
But I'm gonna say real anyways.
Karen
Gotta-
says it's real. Okay, all
Gotta go
right.
with my
John?
gut.
Karen likes that story. How about John?
Well, I'm going to say it's real too, like kind of a faith of humanity type thing. I mean, if the ticket says anytime in the future, I mean, they should be held liable or responsible for what they're guaranteeing or what
Like
they're offering.
like one of those lifetime warranties.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Right. So I'm going to say real.
So John says it's real as well. John says it's real. Karen says it's real. Everybody at home, you decide. I will check with the judges, and the judges say that is a real story. And a very nice
Yay!
human interest story too, by
Very
the way,
good.
John.
Very
You're exactly right.
We're getting
Um,
at the blocks good here, Karen. Very
I'm
good.
gonna mention real quickly. Jay Leno used to have a story that he told about his father, who had a toilet seat. He saved every receipt and all the warranties, and he had a toilet seat with a 25-year warranty. And 24 years and 8 months into the warranty, the toilet seat broke, and he took it. Now, by this time, Jay is already a multimillionaire, and he says, "No, give me that toilet seat. I'll buy you a new one." And his father went and got a new toilet seat anyway.
Good for him.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I always love that story.
Another
And I can
famous
relate to it.
story, Paul.
There you
Famous
go.
man. There you go. Very good.
Okay, all right. So we're going to get right to another sports story here with story number 2. The 2020 Summer Olympics were postponed a year because of the pandemic. So a group of athletes in Germany decided to prepare for anything in 2021 by putting together an alternative socially distanced Olympics, which was held last week. The basketball players were required to stand 6 feet apart. So the winning team had to have a lot of really long shooters. The 4x100 meters relay teams were required to throw and catch the baton on the run. The synchronized swimmers got around being synchronized by performing to jazz, which allows improvising. The 2-person rowing teams competed in the 8-person sculls. The fencers borrowed poles from the pole vaulters, and the wrestlers tied 6-foot ropes to their arms and legs and tried to pull each other down to the mat. Medals were tossed to the winners like frisbees, but even the losers admitted that everyone had a good time at the alternative socially distant Olympics, and they're thinking about making it an annual event. John, socially distant Olympics, real or bluff? In Germany, remember.
I have to tell you, Paul and Karen, I just pray that this is a bluff. I just think it's too strange. Dude, I mean, what kind of competition
strange for this show? Okay.
For the show. I mean, but no, I mean, it's just too weird. Just too weird for people to compete like that.
And yet, hide and seek, John.
Yeah,
okay.
Too. I should speak to that point.
Karen, how about you?
I have to agree with my buddy John. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Karen is gobsmacked by the idea.
I'm gobsmacked. Yes.
All right. So you both say that that's a bluff. Let's check with the judges. You're both right. That is a bluff.
Oh, wow.
2 for 2. We have a tie here for a change. Okay, so points are doubled in round number 3, but you're both tied. So all you need to do is get the right answer this time. Story number 3. You can pick your wedding day, but you can't pick the weather, as a bride in the Philippines found out last week when her outdoor wedding was nearly ruined by sudden high winds. While there was no rain, the wind was blowing so hard that the poor bride was in danger of getting knocked over when she walked down the aisle. Fortunately, her quick-thinking wedding planner came to the rescue and, after getting permission from the groom, crawled under the wedding gown, held it down, and added enough weight so that the bride didn't blow away, as she and the planner, on his knees under the dress, slowly made their way to the altar. He then popped out, told the bride, "I do anything for you," and ran down the aisle, but not before giving his business card to the single bridesmaids. Let's see. Karen, I'll give that one to you. The wedding planner who held down the bride's dress from underneath it so she wouldn't get blown away by the wind. In the Philippines, real or bluff?
Wow. I gotta say it's a bluff.
Karen says it's a bluff. Can't imagine that happening at your wedding, huh?
I can imagine happening, but I can't imagine the wedding planner getting underneath my gown.
Well, you got married back in the hippie days when they wore wedding mini skirts anyway.
No, we didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay. John, how about you? Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. I'm going to pray that that's a bluff. I agree
No,
with
so
you.
John, oh wow. So John said it's a bluff. Karen also says it's a bluff. Let's
Yeah,
check with the judge.
the whole idea of this wedding planner.
I don't think
underneath
that's right. You can't imagine the lovely Annette or the lovely Donna or the lovely Karen doing this at their weddings. Guess
No.
what, kids? That's a real story. That actually
No.
there's
Oh,
video
no.
on that's exact. The wedding planner, the wind was blowing so hard, the bride was afraid to walk down the aisle. So he climbed underneath the gown and crawled on his hands and knees underneath and held the dress
I
down.
don't think that's very good etiquette, just in general.
No.
I understand the idea why he did it or whatever.
And what did the groom say to all this?
Yeah, really.
He was happy to continue with the wedding.
Oh, well, he would have been happy if her dress had flown up in front of her face, too.
There you go. Get the garter thing out of the way early.
Okay.
Well, that was Bluff the co-host, and that means that we've come to the end of another What in the World. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you, Karen, as always, for all the things you do for us as a co-host and a media mogul at newclevelandradio.net. Thank you, John DiNallo, for the great sport, your color commentator.
Tag, you're it.
Commentary, that's right. Your Cleveland Indian shirt and all that other stuff. So
You're welcome, Paul. Thanks.
well, if you watch for us on YouTube and Instagram and all that other great stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Have a good week.